Good morning, students. Today we will see the remaining topics left in service-oriented architecture. In yesterday's class, we saw what is service-oriented architecture, what is the API we are using, how far it is supported, and what are the advantages and disadvantages for using that API, what the methods we are having. We have the 5 methods there. So the first method is we are using get to retrieve the data, put to create the data, and then post and patches for the updations or the alteration or that is replacing. And at last we have the another one, that is the delete. So we have seen the principles what it is following for processing this one. Also we have been covered live examples of usage of these service-oriented architecture presents, that is REST API. We have seen the architecture of the REST API also. The web service which is being used in the Amazon S3 interface, where we have seen REST request and the REST response, how it is getting the response here. So that's about these REST and the systems of the systems here. And today we will see these next representations of the service-oriented architecture, services and web services. So before going to representations of the service or a web service, what is the differentiation between these things? Services and the web services. Service, you can specify it as it can be a software, or it can be a storage, or it can be any. So if it is a software, we are presenting software as a service. We are presenting storage, then we are getting the service as an infrastructure, and we are taking runtime environment as a service, that is deploying your things into the another, that is done by the platform as a service. So then what is a web service? So here the web service is commonly used in day-to-day life of this cloud. So how it is provided, or how it is going to access, or what is the importance of here is, it is the service available to the users across the web here. So what is the difference of this service and web service means? You are accessing an application on your laptop or on your any mobile or anything. So if it is not needing, or if it is there is no need of any internet, then it is simply a service here. So whatever the cloud services we are specifying, means platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, or software as a service. To avail this service, what we need to do, we need to go for the internet connection. If internet connection is not there, then what happens, it won't allow to access the environment given by the cloud. So hence the cloud services what you are using, or the services, virtual services we are using, will be dependent on the web only, that is internet only. So if you are having a virtual environment on your own laptop or any remote like location, what we will do, we will just click on that icon, and we will get into that virtual environment. We will access the any environment what we want to process now. So if accessing need web connection, then you need to start your internet connection there itself before starting your virtual manager. So some of these services what we are providing here is not the web oriented one. Why so it's not the web oriented one means, once you have installed a Java environment or the Python environment or any type of the environment, what we need to do, we need to provide the data. It is, there is no need to installations, or there is no need to do after these installations are done through the internet, because what we are doing, we are just writing our programs, executing them. there is no need of your executions to be done on the internet. And going for the HTML programs also, what you are doing, you are providing the HTML programs. In that one you are writing a code and you are accessing it. So all these environments are needed or not needing internet up to some extent. When you are dealing with the web-based applications, then it has to maintain or then it has to provide these things to be done through the internet. So what is the web service here? It is a self-contained, self-describing and modular application to be used and accessible by software, or you can say other software applications across the web. So the service should be accessed through the web only. Then only what it is specifying, it is allowing to take the privilege of accessing the web service here. So if you have the service has been deployed, then what you have to do here is we need to take these other applications and other web services has to discover and invoke the deployed web services here. How it is going to invoke or how it is going to deploy this one here is by using this representation. So this is a simple web service interaction which is among the provider, the service provider who is at the left side, and then next user or the requester on the right side, and this UDDI registry which is on the top. So first on the top one, what here is saying UDDI. What is the UDDI here is the universal description, discovery and integration. So what it is doing or what it is specifying here is it is giving the description of your services and it is making to discover the web services here. How it is going to make available here is by searching for the names or the identifiers or any category of the services you is specified or any category of the application you has been given will be specified or will be given as the UDDI. So universal description, universal discovery and then next integration is specified as a UDDI. So what it is doing, what it is will respect means what the things it will go or the what it is specifying here is we need to maintain a registry here. So that's why it is called as the UDDI registry. So this registry has to be maintained here. So registries means what? So the registry you can specify it as a, they can make these services available to you by creating or by storing the metadata in this registry, and they also maintain or they also give the set of operations to be performed while storing. In previous class also said set of operations are the CRUD. CRUD means CRUD. CRUD means here create and let me type CRUD, where C stands for create, R stands for read, U stands for update, and then D stands for delete. So what are the operations of your database or what are the operations of your storage when you say here? So simply we can say the operations are the CRUD operations. CRUD operations means, so here we need to create the database or the create a record. After that, if any updations has been done, you want to update that one, you will use the update operation. To read the files of that stored one, you will use the read operation. And to delete any data or to delete any record, what you will do here is we will take the delete operation. Simply we are specifying the operations to be done by these what we will say that is representations what we are using, whether in the software architecture what he has seen REST API or UDDI. What it is specifying is It is specifying that to create a registry, what you have to do is nothing but we need to maintain what are the services we are having, and also we need to specify there are set of the operations to be performed on that data structure. So what are the operations there? Create, read, update, and then next delete. And simply the operations we are, spell it as a CRUD. CRUD operations will be performed on the data structure what you are representing. So what are the registries here? So if you go for the registries, there are three types of the registries or the three categories of the registries over there. So what are there here? The first one is the white pages. It is a set of the pages. First one is the white pages. The white pages is just contain the name. You can specify any representation, any entity also, name comma general information of an entity. So that is the first one. And coming to the second one, what is the registry will be? So it contains yellow pages also. So what this one here is, here it is specifying the classification. So what it is classifying here? It is classifying the information based on type of the information and the location of the service. So on which basis it is classifying here is, it is basing on the type of the information and also the location where you want to access this information will be specified. And then next, the last one, the last category here is the green. So the green is to for these offering the services, that is, it is regarding the technical data. The technical data will be stored or the will be processed or maintained by these what you say green pages. So how many types of the pages you are having here? We are having three different types of the categories here. So for whom you are specifying these categories or for whom you are representing these categories are, we are presenting these categories to this UDDI. So what this UDDI is specifying, it is having three categories of information. Based on that information has been processed into three types: white, yellow, and green. White means it simply maintains the information about an entity. Entity means you have seen database, data DBMS is there now. So you have seen several things there, entity based relationship, ER models, all these things. So you know what is the importance of an entity in these data structure, data based processing. And coming to the yellow pages, it contains only the classification information of the what the data you are having or the entry what it is specifying. So what is the classification here? It is giving the classification based on the types and location of the services you have chosen. On the green pages, what it is saying, it is giving or it is containing the information about the details how to invoke the offered services. So offered services means it has been offering some services. How to get into that one, how to process that one, you will know the technical information from this that is green pages here. So while coming to these UDDI or representations, what will this UDDI do here is, this will define a way to describe, publish, and discover the information about your web services by creating a platform independent and also the open network representation. So here the UDDI will provide a name service and also a directory service where you can specify them as looking up service descriptions. You can take by this name or any specific attribute here. So these specifies attributes has to be used here. So for this type of the things, the data which is used in UDDI registry is organized as a instance types. So all the data, all the you are considering are not the same things. So what we do, we need to take these things to be that is categorized. So the data has to be organized in such a manner that we need to specify all these things will be done, or these things will be represented in a in the instance manner. So what could be the entities here will be, so we are taking these applications some as a business oriented way. That's why we are taking the business entity, business service, binding templates, T model, publisher assertions, and also some subscriptions has to be specified when we are dealing with that one. So how it is going to give this one here is, the main thing or the main representations here is, we need to consider a publisher assertion. So the first one here, what we need to consider is publisher assertion. So what is this publisher assertion will do? So the first one here is the publisher assertion. So the publisher assertion will define a relationship between two or more business entity elements. So there is a new term called business entity elements. So here the business entity elements, what it is performing or what it is doing. So the business entity element here is, it is described by an organization or describing an organization, or could you say that it is describing the a business here. So here what it is specifying, what is the entity it is doing, it is describing a business which will be providing a web services. So what could be the information about this here is, what is the name of the company, the contact information, and then what are the products or the what are the geographical representations, what are the industries it is having under that one, and any other important information will be stored in this business entity. Business entity, entity means you can say it is a you can take it as a category or anything. So here the entity what you are maintaining depends specifying business entity. So when you are dealing with this type of or one, it describes what is the organization using this one. Okay, so describe the organization means the organization name. For example, organization is our college. So what is the college name? Chevrolet Engineering College will be specified as a company name, and contact information. So the contact information means we will give our mail IDs or college landline numbers or some mobile numbers who are means used by the some important persons in our college. So likewise we will give the contact information there also, and we will provide the product information. So what is the business here, what is we are dealing with an educational institution. So description of the product means we will describe what are the courses offered by us, and what are the facilities giving by us, that is infrastructure, and what are the courses offered by us. And if you see, geographical representation will be given there. So map will be given also with us, where it is located, has to be given that one. By that what they will see, or what are the things related, or what are the things nearby to that one, how far it is nearer to any road, or how far it is near to any town. Like this we will represent. And also we need to give the some information about our industry, that is our college, which is a previous. So how far, if you are specifying, if it is the industry, we will display the products there. So this product has been designed by us. This is the coming product. We are including these services into that one. We will do all these things into this one. So when we are dealing with this college type educational industry, educational institution, what we will do, we will specify what is the pass percentage of that one, of particular departments you have chosen, and what are the placements we have got, or any other achievements or they means other activities will be there. Not only the curricular, we will go for the extracurricular activities, we will be there, sports will be there, all these things has to be specified. So what we are doing, we are placing all these things in our entity. So here by using this entity, all the people will come to know for what it is being specified, what the data I will have in that one. So the data means if I am studying there, I will place in some institution, that is in a company, like that you will got some information about that one. So likewise, by using this business entity, they will come to know what is the business is for and what are the products they are designing, what is the geographical representation, what are the other collaborated one. So we are collaborated with other institutions or any other companies that also be displayed there. So likewise, by that entity, other people will come to know that the service will be accepted, the service will be known by that one. And coming to the next one, that is a business service. So here we are not specified any service here. So what we are doing, we are explaining about our entity in the previous one. So here we are trying to explain the services here. So business services means here we need to describe what are the services will be given by this one. Means business entity means what is an organization we have been used in. This organization will allow you to know the services given or the services provided by this organization. So here this instance what you are taking will describe a collection of related instances which are supported for these web services which are being offered by the organization which we described in the earlier entity or the earlier instance, that is the business instance. In this, what will be the process in business entity? What we have the company name, contact information, industry or the product, any geographical representation, classifications, all these will come to you. And coming to this service, what you will have here is we need to know name of the service. What is the name of the service here, and what is the description we are providing, and then next how far you will access for this service, and what is the cost estimation you are giving, and you can go for what are the other applications it has been supported, who are using this service, who has been used this service, what are the benefits they has been got. All these things will be come with this business service representation, because they are giving some introduction to this service what they are representing, and also they are presenting that we are offering this much of the services which is allowing to take the benefits of that one. And coming to the next one, binding template. So the next instance type is binding template. So here you know the template. Simply, what is a template here is template represents virtual representation of the template here is we are dealing with the virtual environments. We should know what is the environment here. So how we are going to or they're coming to know here you by seeing the template. Likewise, we are maintaining or we are taking the template into an account in this UDDI registry data representation. So what will help this? So this will take this technical information which has been necessary for accessing or processing web service. So what are these things represented here is what are the URL addresses. Means template means what you are having, it will have the particular information about your environment what you have chosen. So in this binding template, we need to bind with the web service. Here we need to connect with that web service. So we don't know where to access the web service. So that's why what it is doing, it is giving a URL address which makes you to access to that web service environment and take the benefits of that service. Means it is allowing to take the service access through URL. So it is providing a URL also for accessing your service. And the next one here is it is giving a model which is specified as the T model. So what is this T model here is it is a generic container which has been used for specification of WSDL. If you see here, there is a WSDL representation is there. So what is the WSDL representation here is Web Services Description Language. So here this type of representations what you are using, T model. T model is used for providing a generic container for the specifications of your WSDL documents which are using for your web services. So here what this WSDL will do, it will provide an interface, or it will describe an interface, and also provide a set of operations which has been supported by these web service. And also it is making the usage or the intro of these input and the output parameters, and what are the operations to be performed, and the protocol bindings what you are using, what could be the messages will be transferred on that one. And also it will make the enabling of a disparate clients which has been um, have the environment that makes you automatically understand how to interact with the web service. And also it will specify, and also it will give the information which is regarding to your that is services in a standard format. Is not maintaining any that is a platform dependent one, standard format which is represented or which is being used by these others. So likewise the T model is using the container which is being uh, helpful for the specification of this document, which is the web service description language. And coming to the next one, subscription. So here subscription means what you will subscribe, or the what you will specify here is the first thing, we need to submit or we need to place a request. So here we need to place here request, and then what it is do is it is will take care of the processings what we are having there. So if you go for the representations what we are using in further specification, what is allowing you here is it is making to take the request raised by you. If you want to access the data, or if you want to access the entity, if you want to change the entity, if you want to update the entity, and you want to know the that is a track of changes, and all these things will come to know when you are dealing with these subscription. So these are the instance types what you are having, 6 instance types what we are using here. So what this is represented for, if we see, so if we see, so UDI what you are using, UDI is having, so UDI is having 6 such that is what you will specify instance types which is supported by these data representations. And how we are representing the data here is by based on the classifications here. And what are the things we are considering when we are dealing with these registry here is it is allowing the others, or it is making the others to um, have the specification, or to have the access to these data structures by also using the set of the operations. So what are the set of the operations we are using? You can simply specify CRUD. CRUD means create, read, and then next update, and then next delete. So based on the representations of your users, what we are doing, we are making these these registries to be available on the 3 categories of information, which is the white pages, yellow pages, and then green pages. So they have their own data which has been represented here. So based on that one, what we are doing, we are maintaining the data of the entities here. So here the entities, or the 6 types of the entities we have seen. So in these 6 types of the entities, first we will consider the public assertion. From the public assertion, we will have the business entity. The business entity will describe the business service. The business service will have the binding template. The binding template will allow you to access the that is web service through the T model, because the through the template, through the URL which is having the T model, which is specifying that how you are going to access and what is the accessibility of that one. You can simply say that service description. So the service description can be specified here. So wait for a while, I will show you what is the representations we are using here. So if you go for this representation, sorry. So if you go for this representation, you will come to understand. This one is the publisher assertion. Okay. So this one is publisher assertion. You will start with the publisher assertion. The publisher assertion will give the information about which one, what we are using. So what is the business entity here? So the business entity will let you to access the business services. So here you are having two different entities. Okay. So they are connected to each other. How they are connected to each other here is, first it start with the assertion and it will go for the entity, and then next you are having another type of the entity. If you are having two different entities, then what it is doing, it is allowing to access the two organizations or two separate that is what you say companies or any other businesses here. So here in this business entity, we are having two business services here. So the business services will have one unique template also. They can maintain the different templates also, because the templates what it is representing here is the type of the services what it is. The business service has been divided into two types here. So binding the template means what I am saying here is it is providing an URL to connect to that one. So here that what it is also providing the technical information about the service interfaces will give. So what is the service interface here? URL. So to where or the from where I need to connect has to be specified by this URL what you are using, and this will connect to the T model here. And what it is doing is it is providing another binding template, and it is providing URL, another URL like that. So it is giving the whole information here. So by this T model, you won't be able to access this one simply. It won't allow you accessing the services or providing the things on the same things what you are choosing. Simply you are not going to access that one. What it has to do here is it must make you aware of this service. How far I can go for these services to be done here is, I should know what I am doing. I should know what I am doing, or I should know what I am performing here. So for that one, what it is doing, it is taking that these services to be known for the user. So for that one, what it is saying, or what it is processing here is, we need to take the description of your service which you are providing. So that's why what it is trying to specify that. So this is the service we are choosing, and these are the input values, these are the output parameters, and these are the operations we are choosing. And it could be the bindings will be done, the messages what will be when the binding has been done, how the messages has been transferred to that one. And then next, how you are automatically how the benefits of the service connected to the interact with that service will be, each and everything will be provided with this T model by using the WSDL. So we are using another one, that is the web service description language here, which is provided by this representation. Okay. So that's what you are using in this representation, what it is providing in while you are dealing with these uh, what you say that representations, what it is specified or what it has been chosen here is, we can access a UDDI registry based on the other representations here. So and also we can specify the things to be used, or the things to be done by other representations also. So if you go for the another type of specification here, how we are going to access. So here, sorry, here we are using UDDI and the next registry. Coming to this diagrammatical representation, first this diagram, in this diagrammatical representation, a web service has been accessed through the instances of these implementation, which is the SOA implementation, and it is handling the services to these protocol like specification, like which is the SOAP. that is the provider and the requester has been accessing or providing these things here through the SOAP here. So the SOAP means Simple Object Access Protocol here, which is providing the structure of the transmission of these XML documents which we are using through internet protocols, because the thing what here specified is based on the internet here. So to take these internets into an account, what we will do, we will make a protocol to be specified be in between to transmit the XML documents here. So what could be the protocols can be SMTP, HTTP, FTP, all these protocols can be used for specifying here. So when we are specifying, when we are sending the data or sending a request to that one, so here we will send the data in the form of an envelope. If you see it, it is also in the that is the shape of the envelope also. Why we are using such type of representation here is, this message will consist of a root element. The root element what it is specifying here is called as a envelope here. So what is this envelope contains? It is envelope contains a header. So what this header information will contain here is, it has the information about routing, authentication, transaction, and you can specify uh, QoS, and also we can take these that is message parsing instructions. All these things will be specified in header, and it is also consists a element that is a body. So this body will have the information about the message here. You requesting to a provider, you requesting to a provider means you will give some query or you will give some message to that one. So that's why in this SOAP architecture what we are having is, the SOAP architecture consists of two elements. So the first element here is the header. The header will consist of the basic information for the transaction, what you are the transmission, what you are using, and it is also consisting of the another one which is specified as the body. In that what it is using here is a, simply you can say that is a payload. Payload will be used here. After that, this is the request which has been placed from this provider. So whenever it has been reached by these representations what you are using, the content what you are used or the content what you are sent to these representations will be marshed, and then the senders what you are using, that is SOAP engine, has to be taken by these receiver end. So it has been taken these representations what here. So it will read the payload. First it will be authenticated, all the things will be done. After that it will read the payload here. So in that payload what you are representing, you want to access a service. So you want to access a service or the publish a service, whatever it is, what has to do, it should be connected to this that is what UDDI registry. So the UDDI registry will take the access of the or any description here. If you don't want to specify or enhance, what it is doing is it is simply allow you to know about the what is the that is answer to be given to you, means what you are representing, what you are specifying will be given in that representation. So in this that is WSDL, sorry, in this SOAP messages what you are doing is, it is taking the XML specification, and also that is header and payload will be there in response also. So this response what it is doing, it is specifying that you have been requested for this one, and it is making to access for these WSDL market, that is a document what you are using. So here, to what you will do to find the, you have the accessibility to these UDDI registry. This UDDI registry, what you will do, you will query to find a service there. So here you, if the service is available with that one, what it is doing is, it is referring to the WSDL here. So find a service means, how it is going to find a service, by giving the keyword or any type of the any software name or any particular representation which is used for this service will be given to that one. So keyword, you can go for the any company representations or any organization or anyone. So what it is doing, when you are requested for a query, that is a service, what it is doing, if the query that is a service is with this UDDI registry, what it is doing here is it is allowing to access these WSDL documents here. Why? Because as I said, you must know the service what you are availing. You must have the complete information that one. That is the T model is specifying. So that's why what it is doing, it is allowing to take these WSDL documents with you. So that's why it is binding these WSDL document with you. And what it is specifying here is it also allowing the access to the WSDL document. So it is binding with you. It is not giving this document with you. What it is doing is it is binding the document with you, and it is able to access the document. Then you will come to know what is the service I am availing and what are the things I have to do, how far I will access that one, what are the things I can use for that one. All the complete informations, network oriented, many informations will be specified with this one, and you will able to access the services what you are having here. So that's the thing what you are using for these web service interaction, which is including the provider, user, and also a UDDI registry. So that's about this representation. And coming to the next one, this is the exemplar format what we are using in the workstation one protocol stack representation. So here in this representation, we are dealing with the web service. So the web services means here what is a web service one protocol stack. So this web service protocol stack here, it represents OWS, that is a web service security, web service agreement, and then reliable messaging, transactions, and then coordinations, and also you can specify how reliable it is there, what are the policies it is been using. All these things will be considered in this diagrammatical representation. So here what is the process and the composition, what it is using here is it will send the notifications what you are using for what it is specifying also, and it also allows a user to know about the notifications what we are processing here. For example, if we are using any type of the representations such as the web service which is represented by others, we should know what the service is for. So what the service is representing, what these for, we should previously we should know for that one. So what is this type of the representations we are using here is we are making these things to be available with some updations here. So we are maintaining a technical committee or any other presentations which allows an user to take these business processes and how they relate to these web services, how these businesses will be included, all these things will be considered. So this one, it will be done by these things here represented BPEL 4W. So what it is here is a business processes execution language for um, web services. So B stands for business, P stands for process, E stands for execution, L stands for language. For, we are representing for as 4. For, and then what is the last one? W stands for web. So this is the language what you are choosing for these things to be done. So you can specify this one as a book. You can specify this as a book to take these executions to be done, to take these specifications to be done. We are making these W3C. So that is a worldwide, that is representations in the, have seen in the, how these REST API is represented as several principles or the several things, how it is been done by using the W3, that is a World Wide Web Consortium has been given this BPEL4W, which has several things to be included. That one means it has rules, you can say. You can say it is rules or analyzing. It has articles also to develop these things to be done, and process it needs to be done for other representations. And also it is having the another one, that is a quality of the service. So how it is maintaining the quality of the services? It is maintaining the web service security. So here the web service security, how we are going to provide here is we are taking the protocols into an account. So the protocols we are taking here simply provided by these things as a securable. Okay, so we are not allowing these things to be done on the simple protocol or the simple bindings. And also we are taking the reliable messaging. Why we are using this messaging here is we need to provide the interaction between the web services and also the that is organizations or the UDDI registries. All these things will be, so that's why we need to take the messagings to be done in the reliable manner. And the resource lifetime, you are offering the resources there. So the resources means what you are doing, you are allowing to them to access for a particular amount of the time or not. In that representation, what you are doing, you are making them to be available for how much amount of the time has to be specified there. And apart from this, we need to provide the description of the services. How far you are giving here, we are giving web services description language, documents, and also we are giving UDDI registry into an account, that is a universal description, discovery and integration. We are maintaining the policies here, that is web service policy. And also we are taking the resource properties into an account. So why these things keep into an account means, when we are dealing with the business organization, there will be inappropriate use of that one. So for that one, what we are taking, we need to provide these things to be appropriate. That's why we need to make the policies and the properties, what the resources we are having, how can you use that thing will be specified. And coming to the next one, messaging, extension and invocation. What are the protocols we are using here? So we are using the protocols, that is a SOAP, and then next addressing formats we are specifying, what are the transactions we are using, and also we are maintaining the coordination between the flows here, because we are using several representations used, because if you see BPL4WS, which is represented as a XML based language, because it is on the top of that web service specification. What you will do, you need to take these process to be done, or the process here to be specified here. So we need to take these transactions or the coordinations or any representations activities which are doing with the partner services or any other task. We need to consider all these things to be specified in a clear manner. And coming to the next and the last one, what are the protocols we are using? As I said, HTTP, SMTP, FTP, JMS, IOP, there are many protocols we are using. So this will means what the environment you are using will be decided by your representations, what you are specifying. So this is a representation what we are using in envelope. So envelope representation is there now. So envelope is there. So request has been sent. What it is sending here is, it is using XML namespace, which is the SOAP is equals to, I want to access the W3, that is World Wide Web Consortium or the World Wide Web C organization, the SOAP envelope, and it is using the encoding style of the SOAP. So what is the body here? I want to create a bucket which is used in this Amazon S3, and I want to store the data in that bucket. So for that, I am taking the bucket information, or the bucket specification is as, I want to give the access key. I want to provide an example representation here, and I want to take the timestamp to be recorded. What is the signature we are using? All these things has to be specified, and this specified one, what it is doing, it is using some XML format for processing. So the envelope has been sent to the provider. So it will have some response. So what could be the response here is, for what I am giving the response will be sent in that envelope representation, namespace representation. Here it is specifying that it has been created the bucket or not, like that it is specifying. So if you see this, that is how we are going to use these S3 object, that is user object from S3 here is, we are using an style of representations here. So we are providing the sample bucket representations and the next access key also, and it is taking the time representations, what is the signatures you have taken. All these things will come into an account. When you have sent this one, the response will be, the bucket has been created here. So this enclosed information what you are using has contained a header and also a body block. and also some URL representations also there, URI representations also there. So it is providing the things to be done in the representations here. So if it is having any error, means it is not given any error here. If it is having any error, it will include a element which is specified as a fault is there. So if when you are getting error, you have the error message or like that now. So what it is doing, it is giving the element that is a fault, and you can specify it as a protocol level error, like that. So apart from these, we are choosing many things to be done by these root elements which are using the XML schema here. So and also allowing to take these things to be done. So the thing is, it has been, we are asking for the creating a bucket, that is bucket means a space for storing your data, and it has been created a storage space, and is not allowing to take these things to be done in a erroneous manner because there is no fault has been occurred here. And also we are specifying the that is web service specification area. So based on the area, it will choose the that is specifications or the any how these things to be involved here. So the first representation here is we are taking a core service model. So they, among these categories what we have chosen here is it is using XML, WSDL and the next SOAP representations into one to process that data, and service internet to service the means to service to provide the service or to provide that one. We are using web service addressing, that is URI, and then next URL also you consider message delivery process, reliable WS, that is web service random memory, and then next efficient MOTM. All these things will come into mind when we are dealing or when we are processing with this thing. And also we are making these things to be available with other representations like policies and agreements. What are the areas you have chosen service, and what are you are involving in this one, in these representation, what it is having, that is the protocol stack. From the protocol stack, it is having some specifications. What the specifications you have been chosen for processing. I want to discover a service here. How I am going to discover a service? We must need a web service discovery, or we can specify them it as a UDDI. So UDDI itself is using for the discovery of the services here. Also we make the usage of processing into that one. And coming to the next one, that is enterprise multi-tier architecture. We are having the three types of the architecture. So why we are taking this enterprise multi-tier architecture is simply how I will specify is I am dividing the work of the developing the application. So the developing the application not be on the same layer here. What we are doing is we are taking the architecture to be into the multi-tier representation. Why? Because I am taking these functionalities, I am taking these things to be available on the multi-tier here. So the each and every layer will perform their individual works, and they won't have the pressurize on processing that one. So we are not creating these projects or these things on a means on a single architecture. Why we need to maintain a multi-tier architecture here is by using this multi-layer, what it is doing is it is allowing an user to take these things to be recover from any disaster or any problem has been occurred. We can manage our things easily because the work has been divided here. So here we are using information system as an example. In this information system, we are providing data storage and then application logic or any middleware or the presentation layer of that one. So last one is for the you can say the data storage, or you can specify them as the resource management layer. So here this data layer what you are using will deals with different data sources and also maintain the data sources and of these information system, and you can monitor the data that is data elements of that one. And coming to the next that is a between layer, that is a middleware layer. This middleware layer will take the implementation of these actual programs or the actual operations which has been requested by the client from these presentation layer. So these layer will take care of these things done by this presentation layer here, and we are taking the middle tier, which is the middle layer, will control the authentication of the user and also control the accessing of the resources and provide the access to the resources what has been requested, and also maintain or also process the queries which has been given by these clients. And if you want to take any representations done by that one, what it is doing, it is been cleanly done by the application server, and then it will be passed to the database server. What makes it is here is it is like reducing the burden of this database server while developing an application. Most of the work will be done by the middleware here. What it is doing is it is processing this one based on the instructions given by the database layer. Coming to the presentation layer, this layer is nothing but it is taking the entities to be connected from the user, that is interactions between the user and the database here. How it is going to provide is provide through the URL or any interface it is using or any icons it is being presented. So how it is being done. So the client will request for a any resource or any query or what it would be. The presentation layer will look after that one. So for the web services, it is maintaining the web server, and coming to the application oriented one, it is maintaining the application server. So any middlewares has been done, or you want to access to any resources, what it is doing, it is allowing to take the access of this application server, and this server will decide what are the authorizations has been given to that one, how far it going to access that one, all these things will to given to this thing. After that, later it will pass to the database server. We are means what this model suggesting is, we are not allowing the client to directly access this database server, because all these works were done by the database server or the file server. What it is doing, it is taking the access or the the burden here. So we are maintaining the database storage, and we are having the file servers also. So we are dividing the works into the multiple tiers also. In this tier also, we are dividing the work based on the servers what we are presenting. By these representations, what it is doing, we will get the managing and then scaling independently, and we can have the flexibility to into that one. We are quickly getting the responses, and we will quickly process our requests here. And this middleware will allow you to process or to take those things to be done in a such manner that we don't wait for a long time for processing, because the server won't be much busy when we are dealing with an application, because the work has been divided from the servers here. So the servers will take care of all these things in their individual own spaces. If it is being not being accessed by that one, what they will do, they will process or they will send these things to this next one, and they will allow the persons to access the database or the resources, that is a file servers what they are having, based on their request and based on their authorization specifications what you are choosing. By that the architecture what you are chosen will reduce the burden of this one and quickly access or the provide the application development, and there is no any delay in processing also. If any disaster has been occurred in this layer, it won't affect the other layers also, and it is been maintaining multiple servers at the different levels. Then though there is no any loss of data also to process all these things, we have the need backup to present these things into that one. So that's about today's class. We have seen that is what we are representing multi-tier architecture, and also along with that one what we are saying, we have seen the differences between the service and the web service, how we are able to access the web service. To access a web service, what is necessary things, what are the things we need to involve in that one, what is the process it is making to available to make things available to process all things has been discussed. That's it for today's class. Thank you.